Hello.
Hey.
Hi, everyone.
We are here.
We are so here with you on a Wednesday night.
Wednesday night. Flaggers are back again.
Wednesday Night Live.
So, we have a really good topic tonight that we're going to have fun with. But before we get to that, we have secret topics. Did you come up with one? We haven't talked much about it this week. So, actually, this is kind of us both going into this a little bit blind. Because even the main topic...
Everything's been a secret topic this week.
Secret. Completely secret.
Busy week. We had our Daisy Jane have her 6th birthday.
Yay.
So we've been busy. She got a little robot mouse. Her favorite gift was little live pets. And they sell robot mouse. They sell robot birds, robot turtles, and robot hedgehog. Some little animal that can curl up into a ball.
I didn't see that one.
You can see that I really paid attention to all this. But Daisy's into it. Daisy used to have a black rubber rat that she put everywhere.
Yeah.
And so I said, okay, we need that to go away. And we need to get you a cute little mouse instead. So we're not getting any actual live pets. So we got little live pets. These toys that are a cute furry purple mouse or a pink mouse.
And if they get lost, they don't make babies and poop in our house.
And that furry one, her little live pet mouse, has tried to escape a few times. So
Yeah.
it wheels around the house and she's totally into it. So Daisy Jane had a birthday this week and we stayed very busy with that. And Skip's been at work and I've been cooking vegetables for our kids. And they've been...
Veggies.
Here's how I put this out there tonight. I said, okay guys, you have to eat whatever I made you. And here's quinoa and some mixed vegetables and a sweet potato. So I said, quinoa is actually an ancient warrior food for the Incas. And I tried to put it like that. And so they were showing me their muscles and whatnot. And Jude actually was fed by Jonah. Jonah did like a little airplane spoon to him. And I fed Daisy because those littles, seriously, they just can't even with the vegetables.
Jude is 4 years old, and for some reason, still, if you do the airplane spoon to his mouth, he'll and eat it, like no matter what it is.
Turned into a game. So.
Yeah, so it's really funny. Like, okay, airplane. I don't want to eat airplane. Okay.
I'm glad they'll do that though, because they need to eat it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, mostly what they ate today was peanut butter and apples.
That's good.
Cuties. Could be a little bit better, so.
Could be.
They had to eat some vegetables for dinner. Otherwise, I told them that they were going to have to eat it for breakfast.
So, I'm actually a little jacked up right now, I'll be honest. I just had a meeting with two of my friends, and we were at...
You're bouncing off the walls.
Crispers. That's where we were, Crispers. And seriously had the air conditioning on in there, and it was like 50 degrees. Like, it wasn't just me. There was like people meeting in there that because they have a meeting room, and they were putting blankets over their shoulders and stuff. It was cold in there. So what did I do? I went and ordered a cup of coffee, thinking, oh, this will keep me warm. I'll hold my little cup of coffee, hang out with my buddies, and drink. I couldn't drink it fast enough, so I'm drinking this coffee to keep myself warm, and it was gone. I'd go get some more. I think I drank 6 cups of coffee in like 2 hours.
Did
just
they have
now.
decaf available?
No, they had one thing of coffee that they made special for me because it was in the evening, and nobody orders coffee from Crispers in the evening.
That's true.
So they made a coffee just for me, and I'm jacked up. So I'm a little wired tonight. If I say something live and I don't mean it, I'll take it back tomorrow. But I'm jacked on caffeine.
Gloria's feeling it. She says we're looking good in our tropical and our peachiness. So
Oh yeah, we do kind of match.
that actually brings me to the surprise topic.
What?
Thanks for noticing, Gloria. So I have a surprise topic for you. And the surprise topic is couples who wear matching outfits.
Yay.
So
always my favorite.
Let's talk about this a little bit. But I will start and say I'm absolutely in favor of
Yes, she
it.
is. She got dressed after she saw me today.
No, I want to state for the record.
Don't lie. You got dressed after me? Yes or no?
Had this
Yes
shirt on all day.
Or no?
I wore it with a variety of
Okay.
jacket, no jacket, pants, no pants. I mean, I was wearing pants, but shorts.
No pants, I missed that.
Shorts or something like that. So yesterday, Gloria and I showed up to a coffee shop date and we were wearing matching outfits. So I feel like if you're really a friend to someone, if you're connected, if you're going to be married.
I'm super, super thankful that Beth is not a seamstress, because we would be that couple.
Oh, that's a good idea.
With the matching shirts and pants and skirts, you know, all like farmer and
That's
Joe.
super cute.
It's not super cute. It's super dorky.
When we were dating...
if you're listening and you do that, it's awesome for you.
No, you're super cool if you do that.
Again, caffeine.
When we were dating, sometimes like we were going to go hang out somewhere that night, and I would call Skip ahead of time. I'd be like, so what are you wearing tonight?
That's a true story.
And then he would tell me, and then I would either exactly match or coordinate
I'm
with.
dense enough, I didn't catch on for like a dozen times.
You liked it. You secretly liked it.
No, I didn't.
Okay, so in general, you're not in favor of couples wearing matching outfits.
Not in favor of is too nice of language. I'm vehement. I can't even say the word. I'm so against. Yes, I'm against it.
You are seriously against
Caffeine is making my lips not work. I can't even feel my lips. When they having that coffee? Get low
Oh, jeez. So if you want to Facebook Live with Skip at 3 o'clock tonight, apparently he'll still be awake.
I'll be there.
Go for it.
Yes.
Okay, well, now that we know that you're very in favor of wearing matching outfits and that you want to do that all the time, good to know.
Good to know.
All right, your topic.
My topic actually has something to do with what I'm wearing also.
Okay.
My topic has to do with rooting for the home team.
How does that happen? Oh, your hat
I'm
is
wearing a Tampa Bay Buccaneers hat. And that is one of my big things when it comes to sports. I know it's not like the end of the world or anything, but I think you should root for the home team. I think teams that are in your city are entrenched. They bring money and resource and all kinds of stuff in, and it's kind of an identity. You can kind of connect with your city. And it's one of my pet peeves when I go to the stadium and half the people in the stadium are rooting for the other team. It just bugs me a little bit. So that's my secret topic.
I wonder if that's just mainly a Florida thing, because Florida has so many transplants from other places.
For the most part, yes. And this is the trend that I've seen in sports. I feel like for the longest time it has been a Florida thing, because so many people move down and they want to still root for their home team. But I think it's actually starting to happen more as time goes on because of technology. So you can move, like we can move from Florida to New York and still watch our favorite team, the Bucks.
So it's helping
because
everybody
of DirecTV
stay
or
in
different
their little pocket
so
instead of just broadening their...
Correct. So like you go to different cities now and they'll have fan clubs for different teams, and you can just find those and still root for your team and stuff.
Like in Tampa Bay they had sports bars that were just for the Steelers.
Correct.
Or different
and they
things
still
like
do,
that.
right. So I feel like it's being more prevalent. Like you'll see a football game, which is the main sport I watch, or baseball, and you'll see fans of the other team. Some teams travel better than others, Steelers being one of those. Like anytime there's a game, the Steelers, the Patriots, the Cowboys, they do pretty well having fans in the away stadium. But as a Tampa Bay fan, growing up, going to those stadiums, going to the Rays, let's say, and watching a baseball game, like literally if they're playing the Yankees or the Red Sox, it's like a home game for the Red Sox or the Yankees, because there's so many people from up in the Northeast that live down here now. And
so you're making a plea to all of
I'm making a plea.
America. Please.
I'm making a plea.
Please.
To root for the home team. I mean, if I moved, let's say some other city, Philadelphia or something, and I would root for the Philadelphia teams. Like, I would probably always keep my eye on the Bucks. That's where I was born and raised, or the Rays and the Tampa teams, the Lightning. But if the Bucks were coming in to play Philadelphia, and I lived in Philadelphia, I'm not going to go there with a Bucks jersey. I'm going to go. It's my home team. It's the community. I think it's like a part of the community. It's it kind of gives identity to the community. So anyway, home team it is. Root for the home team. If they don't win, it's a shame, because it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game.
That was stirring.
It was stirring.
Speaking of stirring, Sharia is trying to stir the pot, and she says, let's talk about how hot Beth is.
Yes.
So let us
that is a topic that I can...
I just want you to know, Sharia, that's a terrible idea, because Skip will talk
I am
at
on
length
board with
and
that.
It
Dang.
just went from PG to
Yeah, it did.
like way far into the R range.
R.
So, okay, that's it.
Oh,
We're
that's
just going to
it.
leave it at R.
R's a little mild, baby.
You're ridiculous. Okay, so you're not permitted to talk about that topic on Facebook Live.
At least NC-17. Good lordy.
Jeez.
Jeez. Look at her blush. So cute.
I am blushing.
So.
All right.
Good stuff. All right. So she likes to dress the same secret topic. There's the caffeine again. And I like to root for the home team. Kind of sums it up.
Which, is 80,000 people dressing alike. So.
Correct. Very unifying.
And you like that?
Yes. We can wear Bucks jerseys at the same time anytime you want to.
No.
All right.
No thanks.
Done deal.
All right. Well, I feel like that the topic for tonight is what we put as the title, kindness. You were created for it. So I think it's really important that this is something that we talk about, that we bring this out into the open, into the light, and something that we care about. We're passionate about this, and so it's important that we talk about this. So I want you to know you were created for kindness. It's just part of who you are. It's part of your inherent makeup as a person, because as a creation in the image of God, it's part of who he is. As part of when it talks about in Galatians 5 in the Bible, it talks about the fruits of the Spirit, or the fruit of God's Spirit, and kindness is one of those things. So anything that's outside of kindness is actually not who you were created to be. Right. You're actually stepping outside of the way that you're created when you are partnering with something that's not kind. So this is stuff you already know, but maybe aren't putting into practice. And so we just want to talk for a few minutes and encourage you to be putting this stuff into practice in your daily life. So every preschooler in the world knows that they have to be kind. That's what parents go around doing. That's what teachers go around doing, is telling you to be kind. But for us to actually think about that, take a step back in our own life, and when we're interacting with the people in our own life, then maybe we're forgetting to put that into play. And so I just want to encourage you tonight. It's important that you keep this in mind. Keep kindness in front of you as you're looking out at people. So in looking up what kindness is many things, but it is also this feeling of aloha.
And this was unplanned.
Yeah,
same as us matching, unplanned.
Well, you do love to match me. But yes, the idea of aloha, the spirit of aloha, is this tangible goodwill. So when we lived on the Big Island, you actually could feel this aloha spirit.
You really could.
It was tangible. That's what I say, tangible goodwill, because you just feel like people care. You feel like people are connected to you. You feel like people care about relationship. And so I feel like that if we in general just had more of that kind of feeling in front of us, then we would be doing more good and helping to guard each other's hearts as we go through our daily lives. So kindness is goodwill.
Yeah, and just to go back a little bit of what she was saying, it's part of how we're created. I think you can even, like, in this, you're watching this video on Family Faith and Flip-Flops's fan page, right? So part of who we are is faith. It is who we are. And we talk about that a lot. But in this situation, you could even take the faith part of it out. You can take the faith ingredient or the God ingredient out of it. And kindness is still extremely relevant. And it still is who we are. We have inside of us kindness. So you take someone who's an atheist, you take someone who doesn't believe in God or any of these things. I mean, you can take, any religion across the gambit, and people understand what kindness is. They understand, I'm not a nice person. Like I've seen people, that know they're not nice and they're selfish and all these different things, but then they'll stop that one time, that one day to help somebody on the street or to give money to that person or to give into hurricane disaster relief or something. And they say, wow, that was awesome. That made me really feel good because it's part of who we are. And now on the faith side of it, we can take and we can add that part in and understand as we read the scriptures and everything else that God is kindness. He's not kind to us. That's a fruit of who he is. He is kindness. And so that, for people of faith, brings it in even more special.
And just think about all the viral videos that you've watched in the last year. Most of the videos that go viral these days are because of kindness.
Or cats playing the piano.
Well, that's kind to us. You'll see the humor. But like I was just watching one today, and a lady in England set aside a coat rack where she got some donated coats, and so homeless people could just go and pick a coat and they could be warm. And we saw another viral video that said this little boy, he was sewing stuffed animals and bringing them to the hospital or having them delivered to the hospital so that kids could be cheered up. So all of these things that are kind, when people are, giving money to homeless people, or if they're paying for somebody's groceries and they film it or whatever, these things are so well loved because kindness is part of, like it's in Trivial Pursuit where they have the pie shape or whatever. So kindness is one of those pieces that you need. Kindness is part of the makeup of who we are.
Do you still play Trivial Pursuit?
Well, I think that nobody's really good at it, and so nobody, people, like your mom probably buys it one time, and then, like my mom has a bunch of board games and then never plays them. I think everybody's mom probably does that. If you play Trivial Pursuit, comment below and tell us how good you are at it. If you have it and aren't good or whatever, we just want to know, because I think that...
I don't even remember if I'm good at it or not. I know everybody...
I
feel like everybody has Trivial Pursuit in their closet, but nobody plays it.
We don't own it, so we need to buy it.
What?
We'll play Trivial Pursuit with you guys on Facebook Live.
Awesome.
We need to Google all the answers now. I don't know them. So there is a Bible verse that I wanted to tell you. It's Ephesians 4:32, and it says, "Be kind to one another, tenderhearted, forgiving one another, as God in Christ forgave you." So I want you to keep in mind the idea of being tenderhearted and forgiving and kind as you go through your daily life. This isn't just something where when something catastrophic happens in your life that all of a sudden that's the one thing you have to forgive, or like you can go through life completely hard-hearted, but then you want to do one kind act, so you're willing to be tender-hearted. This is actually a lifestyle that I'm encouraging you to create. It's a lifestyle that lines up with God's value system. It's a lifestyle that has good rewards. It's a lifestyle that we've adopted and has good rewards if you walk in line with what God's doing. So I don't know, there's other ways to say it, but when you're walking in step with, who you are and who God's made you to be, then you're being tenderhearted, you're being forgiving. So this is in your daily life. And so don't just save up you don't just have one forgiveness, get out of jail free card. You have multiple times a day. If anybody's in any kind of relationship.
It's the second time you've referenced a board game, by the way.
Board games are fun.
They are.
To be discussed at a
more
future
board
time.
Secret topic next week.
I love games. So you're going to be constantly forgiving. You're going to be forgiving coworkers. You're going to be forgiving your spouse. You're going to be forgiving your kids. You're going to be forgiving your family and relatives. Forgiveness is something that's to be done on a continual basis, and it's to be done, spread liberally. It's not like something you just have to mete out just a little bit. So, you have anything to add there?
No, that was really good.
How little you have to forgive me because of how incredibly kind I am. Yeah. So I feel like that kindness is an atmosphere that you create. I feel like that the look in your eye, the tone of your voice, I think that those help you develop your atmosphere of kindness. So I can say a nice word or a kind word and then still be kind of judging you or looking down, kind of stank in the background. So that is not kindness. That doesn't cut it. If you are just the facade of kindness, like, oh, hi, it's so nice to have you in the neighborhood now. But then, you're secretly, oh, everybody can kind of feel that. And so I want to encourage you to be actually doing true love and goodwill towards people.
Yeah.
Yes.
I was listening to Brene Brown do an interview once, and she was talking, she's from, Texas?
Yeah.
So she was talking about how people would act like that, and she would say, oh, bless their heart, and then talk really bad about them. And she says she wanted a t-shirt made that said, if you bless my heart, I'll kick your ass. I think is what the t-shirt said.
You said a bad word.
Said a bad word. So we just went to PG-13, people. So I thought that was really funny because she put that in a really funny perspective. It was on a podcast I listened to. She's being interviewed or something, and I just thought that was really funny. But it goes along with what Beth was saying. Like, kindness is not just a facade or something you put on so that you make the other person feel a certain way or you feel a certain way. Kindness is who you are, and people can see that. Our face and our eyes and our posture are all windows into our soul and how we really feel and how we really act.
So that being said, these things in mind, I just wanted to encourage you to do a couple things to start practicing some things of kindness in your daily life. So the first area where I would encourage you to practice kindness is in your own home.
That's what I'm talking about.
So be kind to your family. Don't be kind to everybody else that you see on a street. Don't be kind, to strangers and then forget that there's people in your own home that deserve it first. So don't take each other for granted and treat each other badly. And I would encourage you. Are you about to jump in?
Yeah, I was. And can be somewhat difficult at times, quite honestly, because you're so familiar with the people in your own house. So, sometimes, if you're in business or you have kids who are in school and they've got to put on this face so they don't get in trouble, or you're in business and you got to kind of, even having a bad day, put on this face because your boss or your customers or whatever are difficult to deal with that day.
Or people putting on the church face,
church face.
That's known.
It's kind of easy to come home and to be short with your family, and that's really not a good pattern or good lifestyle. So
Shreya says, if you want to change the world, go home and love your family. A quote from Mother Teresa. And apparently
Amen.
Vince quoted me. I said, don't be kind. So we'll be hearing that back. Apparently, I flip-flopped all over my words. But I just want you to know that what I meant to say is be kind. So.
Please be kind. Rewind.
Please be kind. Rewind.
Does
your
anybody
VHS
remember that from
tapes.
Blockbuster? Be kind. Please rewind.
Only you. Oh, king
Anyway,
of the 80s.
So just gave my age away. I used to go to Blockbuster every weekend.
I want to encourage you guys. I want to encourage us. Use kind words in your home. Say please to your family members. Say thank you. Use the basic, most simple kindness that you already know and do it well in your own home. I want you to offer to serve each other in your own home. To say, hey, I'm getting up. Do you want anything while I'm up?
I'm totally waiting for you to get up when I didn't want to drink.
You actually do this a lot for me. You're incredibly kind, which is why I know about this topic so well, is because of you. But definitely Skip always is willing to get up and get me 10 things so that I can sit and
I'm not willing to get up. I'm willing to sit down and then get up. Because I'll go get a drink and I'll go do something, and then I come down and just as I sit down, oh, can you get me a drink? Yes, I can get back up and walk back into the room that I was just in and get you a drink.
Because you have so much energy. I just figure.
I do have energy tonight.
You have a lot of energy.
Tons of caffeine.
Gloria says, be kind or else. Yes, that is what I'm saying. Be kind or else. I'm telling Vince.
Yes, that's kind of like telling your kids to be kind to each other, you're going to spank them.
Stop yelling at each other! Oh, wait a minute.
If you hit again, I'm going to spank you. Like all those fun things that parents do.
Yeah, well, honestly, there's natural consequences. If you're not being kind, then the or else is just so bad. You know, like you have a culture where it's being an unkind culture in your own home, you know, it's just not great. So definitely forgive and show each other grace. When my husband comes home late from work is one time that I am having to practice kindness so much because it's not something that comes naturally to me. I normally want to freak out a lot.
And quite honestly, on my end, I can be a little more kind and let her know I'm going to be late. So she doesn't get a little short with me if I'm communicating, which is a very kind thing to do, right?
Yes, that's true.
So it's
and this is not as like what it is now. Like you've made this better.
Non-kindness with non-kindness, or how you don't beat evil with evil, right?
So Skip would sometimes be gone and oh yeah, I'll be home in half an hour, and then go run like 4 more errands and get his hair cut and chat to the barber's office, you know, whatever. So like it was
run into somebody I know and stop for an hour and have a cup of coffee with them.
And I seriously just thought he was dead on the side of the road somewhere. Like I was, 25-year-old Beth, and I just had like no filter.
It was my ADD. Like when I'm driving, my ADD like kicks in, and I'm.
Oh, look, a squirrel.
Yeah.
Follow the squirrel.
Oh, look, my friend that I just saw yesterday. Let's stop and talk for an hour.
I haven't seen him in 24 hours. So, I had to learn how to be kind, even though I didn't want to be, because Skip would come home, and I was mad that I had waited for him for so long. And Skip would come home.
That's a kind way to put it.
And I would be like raging, like, oh my gosh, I can't believe this. And so then he would be like, okay, well, you made me not want to be home, so bye.
Bye, Felicia.
So it ended up creating more problems. So I just want to encourage you to be kind in your own home. When I'm being kind to Skip, then it makes a safe place for him to be able to, be kind. And he wants to communicate with me. He wants to come home and be around me.
Don't worry. Be kind.
Be happy.
Whatever.
Don't worry. Be happy.
I think it's the second time I've sang in this podcast.
Yes,
or
you are
it's not a podcast.
now a famous
this is a
singer.
Facebook Live. It's the second time I've sang on this Facebook Live. Maybe we'll make
you
that
are welcome, world.
We'll make that a thing. I'm going to try to fit a song in every week.
All right, Skip has been waiting to break this story in. He was actually Peter in the show Heidi.
Oh, I'm so glad you brought this up.
Okay, we don't have time for this right now, but next time.
Boo.
All right, quick story. Go ahead.
You were telling it.
Do a quick story.
I was going to sing. You tell a story and I'm going to sing it.
I don't know. The play Heidi. I've heard this story. We've been together for 23
Everybody who knows
years.
Me
and we've heard
says
this story
that I can't sing, but I can.
A dozen times. Or more.
I really, honestly, in my own ears, I think I sing great, but everybody else tells me I sing bad. I'm like that guy on American Idol that goes in thinking he's going to win, and everybody thinks it's a joke, and then he leaves and he cries, and he gets mad and punches the cameraman. That's me.
You're that guy.
I'm that guy. So, I have, in my wiser years, come to understand that I don't sing too hot, so I don't do it too often in front of people.
Well, you could practice a thing and perform it for us next time.
I was Peter in the play Heidi in 5th grade, elementary school. And I had 2 solos and a duet in that play. I was also
They have an eye for talent. That
chorus
person, they picked the right
in 4th and 5th grade, and went to all-county chorus.
So what happened? You turned 11 and suddenly you started being tone deaf? I think tone deaf's like a thing that you were born with, so...
I hit puberty.
Did you?
Yeah. No. My voice cracked and changed, and then my ear changed, and...
Okay, I'd like everybody to chime in. Is it possible for you to go tone deaf or have your ear to change once you hit puberty?
Really, when you're in 5th grade and you sing terrible on stage in front of all the parents, they think it's the cutest thing ever.
You're cute.
That's why I was able to do it.
You are cute.
You're like, oh my god, look at that cute little kid. He sings terrible.
And I'm sure you were very blonde, so you were perfectly in step with Heidi.
And I thought I sang great. Especially at that age. I had no issues with singing in front of people.
You're confident you weren't going to have stage fright.
I did not have stage fright.
That's for sure.
So, anyway, long story to say, I'm going to try to fit in a song based upon what Beth is saying every week. So I've done it twice now.
That's great.
Tonight.
Sort of like freestyle.
Yes. I'm so cool. I'm going to freestyle.
Okay. Moving on.
Ouch.
So, practice kindness in your own home. Tell your husband that he's a good singer.
Practice kindness with your friend Skip If I sing, do not put any rude comments.
Let's go ahead and say that's a good point. I'm glad you brought this up. Kindness doesn't mean that you have to lie to the person. And so it wouldn't be kind for me to tell Skip that he is very, very good singer, because you're a very heartfelt singer, enthusiastic singer. But not necessarily a good singer. So thankfully, our daughter Sophia got all the musical talent that
honestly,
we need.
she's a lot like me when I was a kid. And I was so thankful when she got a good singing voice, because she loves to sing.
Yes. Skip was very concerned at first when she was like 1.
I was like, if she's exactly like me, this is going to be bad for her, because she loved to sing.
And she's very good at it.
Good at singing.
We'll have her sing here and play with us. All right. Let's also encourage everybody, please, 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 practice kindness outside of your house. So practice kindness in your house, practice kindness outside of your house.
Yeah.
When you go to Walmart, don't run people over with your shopping cart, or when you're in the parking lot in your regular car.
Even on Black Friday?
Even on Black Friday, don't sit there and walk through Walmart with a scowl and then like push your cart into people. Don't be that guy. Don't be the guy who like
speed up to get into the checkout line before somebody else.
In fact, be kind and do the opposite. If you have like a shopping cart full of stuff and you're even in a rush, let the other person go if they have 10 items or less. They're 2 items and they're standing there and tapping their foot. You don't have to be right. Just be kind.
Pay for their items. That would be fun. If they only have 2 items, especially.
We do this a lot. In fact, one of our kids, I think Jonah, went to the store recently to buy something, and he comes out and he goes, "Mom, I let the person behind me go in front of me." So it's something that our kids are noticing. And, you know, I go to the grocery store. I have 4 kids with me and normally a shopping cart full of stuff. And it would be nice to get the lady with 4 kids out the door as quickly as possible, because 4 kids. But normally we'll go, you know, I'll look around and go, okay, you know, hey, you just have a couple items, you go ahead in front of me. So just be aware of the people around you and try to meet other people's needs. If it's something as simple as you waiting an extra 3 minutes at a store, then go ahead and do that.
Kindness wraps. Yes, I'm in for that. I didn't see that before, Vince, but thank you.
I'm going outside right now, Vince says. Vince goes for walks. So, yes, Vince, take kindness with you. All of the kindness that you are. You're very good at it.
I thought he was going outside to sing. I was like, why does he go outside to sing? That's so crazy.
We dare you, Vince. Go take a video of you singing outside while you take your dog for a walk right now.
Please. And then put it in the comments of this later.
Can they add videos or something? I hope so.
Add the comments on the thing.
Yeah.
I should be able to.
All right, good. I would encourage you to wave and smile at your neighbors. If you're driving through your neighborhood, wave to people. Be kind like that.
Really funny story
Smile
about
at
that.
them.
Years ago, I mean, we're talking, I think before we were married even. Yeah, before we were married. Me and my brother, Chris, worked at a 55 and up community that had a golf course in the middle of it. So it was all retirees and you know, golfers. So everybody there owned a golf cart. It was like 1,100 residents. It's this big, huge complex all wrapped around this golf course in Largo, Florida. And so we both worked there. My brother worked on the golf course and I worked in the maintenance department. And so everybody drove around the carts, even us, like the maintenance guy. Like I would drive around doing maintenance on a golf cart. And everybody knew everybody. So like we would just get in the habits of, you know, our golf carts would be passing with one of the residents and we would just wave because they knew us and we knew them. We knew their names and stuff. We'd work on their homes and that kind of thing. And then like one time me and my brother were driving and it was like not at work and we were in the car and like we were slowing down for a speed bump and somebody else was coming and we both like just waved because it was such a habit from working at this place that the other people kind of went. And because we both waved, they were looking like, do I know these 2 guys? They just waved at me like they're my best friend. And it was so funny. But you could see the look on their face, just us smiling and both waving at the same time. It completely caught them off guard. And it was a really, really funny thing.
Well, you know, it's weird to encounter another human being and not greet them, not wave. It's actually weirder to kind of, you know, pretend like you don't see somebody and interact with them, I think. So I think it's very reasonable to wave. I think that, you know, as we would drive around in Hawaii and stuff, everybody greets each other, you know, like everywhere you go, you make eye contact and, you give a shaka, and so I just think that it's very reasonable to look people in the eye and smile and wave and be disarming. Show yourself as approachable and kind. So do it.
Yeah, it's part of our culture because like when you're in different areas, like when I was in Costa Rica, or not Costa Rica, when I was in Argentina, you'd meet people and they would greet you with a kiss. So like not knowing this, I'm with some folks and we go into a church and we're there, like we get there at night, we wake up in the morning, we're going down there, we're doing work down in Argentina, like a mission trip, and so we go into the church with the people that we were down there with, and the guy at the door, big guy with a big beard, like I put my hand out to shake his hand, because he's greeting people as they're coming in. He grabs me by the hand, he brings me all the way in and grabs me and kisses me on both cheeks, like very like Italian, like mwah, mwah. And I was just like, whoa, like I backed up and I was just like completely taken off guard. I was completely off guard by that. It was a little crazy. So like for us, just to simply wave or to smile or, do these kind of things. In our culture, it's very fitting. I mean, I'm not asking you guys to go to the grocery store or something to work tomorrow and kiss somebody on the cheek. You might be called into the office by the HR department or something. But having said that, in our culture, to wave at somebody or to make eye contact with them and smile as you walk by even, it makes a big difference in people's days.
Yeah, you're emitting a vibe. So you get to choose the kind of culture that you have around you.
Yeah.
You're in charge of it. You don't have to live down to, the oppressive culture of people that are unfriendly or whatever. You get to choose it. So be powerful in your own circle of, be kind.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to add? Kindness outside of your house?
I think it's good.
Yeah. All right. So then I also want to bring up, lastly, to practice kindness on social media.
Ruh-roh.
I
quote Scooby.
very much encourage you to realize that this is real people as you go through your days, real people that you're interacting with on the internet. These are, they're in this kind of seen world. Like you can see when people put comments on other things. So like if there is a post that's a national post and you comment something, people are going to see that. So be aware of that and definitely keep in mind that you were created for kindness. So take responsibility for your realm of influence. If you feel responsible, you're more apt to honor the holy privilege of positive influence.
Yeah.
So I want you to know that you have a group of friends, you have, this atmosphere of your people group, but if you realize how important that you are and how persuasive and influential even one person saying good things is, then it makes a big difference. If you realize, oh, hey, wait, I have a responsibility to be a good leader here. I have a responsibility to bring kindness. Then you're going to take it more seriously, I believe. I think that you're actually a good-hearted person, especially if you're watching this video. I know that you care and take the time. I know who our people are. So I want to encourage you to stand up and be brave to be a kind voice in the midst of a lot of unkind voices. And sometimes that's going to mean being quiet. And sometimes that's going to mean to step out and say something good. So you'll know, you can test it and see, okay, what am I supposed to do here? Take a second and think. But certainly it's not to be commenting something nasty or to be, tearing somebody down. It's just not who you're made to be. It doesn't build you up on the inside, even if you feel like, wow, I made my point. What you did was do it at the expense of tearing someone down or tearing yourself down. You dishonored yourself.
Breaking connection, like you won an argument, but you also lost connection with somebody.
So I understand the idea that some people, that you feel like you've had to be tough. You feel like you have to, be this kind of abrasive thing in order to survive. And to be able to be where you're at, and I can get that, but I still think that our default, I think that what's underlying the facade of this abrasive exterior is always the fact that you were created for kindness. I think that kindness is something inherent inside of everybody, and that it actually speaks to part of your soul. So
Yeah.
I feel like that no matter what kindness that you do, that ends up building you up. It looks more like your God, more of wholeness, the way that you were created.
Agreed.
Yeah. So take responsibility to be influential in your realm. So realize that you are important. I'm just reiterating the fact
Right.
that it's just so important, just you feeling like what you have to say matters, that people are watching, that even as Skip comments on sports things or whatever, that, it matters. His influence matters, even if it's just one drop in the bucket of, millions of comments on these sports things that he's on. So
Right. Yeah, I mean, and sports is easy, like, to be unkind, because it's like the rival team and the guy rooting for the rival team, and
or celebrities or anything
Right.
else. Like if you think
And
you don't know the person,
Yeah.
and people are spouting
and honestly, like, I catch myself doing that. Like, there was something today, I can't remember what it was, but it was like a sports thing, and I was going to comment about, like, it wasn't cheating or something like that, but it was something in that realm.
Yeah,
Like,
well, even people.
oh, I know what
should
it
be
was.
Like, oh, death to the referee and stuff. It's like, oh my gosh, no.
Yeah, the Bucks were talking. Like, there's a bunch of talk around about NFL free agents who might be on a different team next year, and someone brought up on a thread of a couple different players. I don't say any names or anything, but of how they would love if the Bucks would pick them up. And these people had this player or players. Actually, there was 2 or 3 of them. Were had gotten in trouble for some of their off the field stuff. And so I almost commented, why would we want, that over the hill dirtbag on our team? And I was like, no, that's not me. I wouldn't even want to put my name on that. But my initial reaction, because it's sports and it's so far away from me, it's someone who I don't see or know or interact with. But realistically, as Beth was saying, to own your realm, like, before I put that, I realized, wait, my realm is kindness. Like, I'm not going to go out there and, no, like, I hope the best for that player. And, if sports is what they do for a living, then I hope they do great at it. And I really hope that they, can get their life together and be a better person themselves. So,
yeah, judging people is one way that you're certainly going to cut them off and disconnect from them, and it makes it easy to say something mean to someone.
Yeah.
When if you really treat people as if they're valuable, if you treated everyone as if they're valuable, then you're naturally going to be kind. You're naturally going to want to interact with them in a positive manner. So, like my kids, so I asked Sophia, I said, what do you think about kindness? And she said, well, you always tell me to talk to my brother as if he's someone that I love. So we're still working on growing the sibling thing. But, hey, Sophia, talk to him as if he's your best friend. And then you're naturally going to change the way. So,
which it's really funny because they're in the other room right now together. The 2 little kids are in bed and the 2 older ones are hanging out. And Sophia snapped at Jonah as I was coming in here to do this video. I had no idea that you were going to say that. Mm-hmm. And I said to her, would you speak to, Kristen or Sarah? It's friends of ours that she looks up to. And would you speak to Kristen or Sarah like that, at house church? And she went, no. And I go, then why would you talk to your brother like that? Talk to him the way that you talk to them. Or even better, this is your brother. Like your flesh and blood brother. And she's like, okay, I'm sorry, But it is. It's one of those things that, again, to go back to what we were saying way earlier, was, sometimes at home, we take it for granted because, she knows her brother's still going to be there tomorrow.
Right. So even if it's someone that you disagree with or whatever, talk to them as if they're someone that you love. And that will encourage you to be kind, because there's always a way to be kind, no matter what. I think that I just want to read one little thing before we go. So, sow seeds of kindness everywhere you go. Okay, hold on a minute. Remind me later to do that.
And I want to be reminded later.
Oops. All right, I'm touching Skip's phone, which he always drops and breaks.
Secret topic for next week.
Okay, so I read something in the Bible this week, and I thought that it was fitting for this, and so I wanted to share it with you to help you keep in mind that kindness is part of who you are. And so this is from Romans chapter 12. It starts in verse 9. It says, "Let love be genuine. Hate what is evil. Hold tight to what is good. Love one another with brotherly affection. Outdo one another in showing honor." And then verse 12, "Rejoice in hope. Be patient in trials and be constantly in prayer. Contribute to the needs of others and seek to show hospitality. Bless those who persecute you. Bless and do not curse them. Rejoice with those who rejoice. Weep with those who weep. Live in harmony with one another. Do not be haughty, but associate with the lowly. Never be wise in your own sight. Repay no one evil for evil, but give thought to do what is honorable in the sight of all. If possible, so far as it depends on you, live peaceably with all." So I want to encourage you that treat each other with brotherly kindness, even better than, kids treat their brother and sister. And so I want you to live as much as is possible with you, live at peace with all people. So be kindness to the people around you. Bring this atmosphere of kindness everywhere you go. Bring it in your own home. Bring it in your life at the grocery store or wherever else you go. And certainly bring it out on social media. We could all use a whole lot more kindness these days. Good. Anything else to add?
Good stuff.
We love you guys, and we're glad to do this with you. We want you to know that you can always look and see what's going on the blog. We'll post different writings and stuff throughout the week.
FamilyFaithandFlipFlops.com.
And the writing this week was about...
I didn't read it.
Something. So we
Busted!
We can follow up with... I don't know. Oh yeah, I remember what it was about now.
What was it about?
Should I be scared?
Should I be scared? I did read that.
See?
I did.
That was not kind to tell a lie.
I didn't lie. I forgot.
I forgot too. And I wrote it.
It was actually really good. So if you want to go over and read that, really, really good post. She impresses me all the time with what she writes. FamilyFaithandFlipFlops.com.
Yeah, I'm just trying to talk with you guys and give you the little thoughts as they kind of flutter through. And so go ahead and check that out.
Yeah.
Short version of the story is no, you should not be scared.
And we are doing this here every week on Wednesdays at 8. So you can like the fan page on Facebook, and you'll be notified when we're doing this. And,
you can even go to notifications, and it'll give you a little drop down box, and it will tell you, I want to be notified when there's a live post. So.
You can also watch the replay if you came in late or whatever, or if you don't watch it at all tonight, you want to watch it tomorrow on Thursday mornings, that's fine. Feel free to share with your friends if you think it's good stuff. If you don't, it's okay if you don't share it too.
And go ahead and comment. We'll see your comments as you go through. It'll show up. I think a lot of you guys know this, but the comments will show up with whatever minute that you commented at. So we'll see them in step with the video.
Yeah, we enjoy that. Selfishly for us.
We like to interact with you guys, and a lot of times it'll give us ideas or topics for things that we could talk about with you in the future. So
yeah, I'm on Twitter at Skip Swiger. Beth's on Twitter and Facebook at Beth Swiger and Beth Swiger. That's it.
Have a wonderful week. Love you guys.
Aloha.
Go be kind.